Hi, I'm Dave Dunbar with General Pipe Cleaners. And today we're going to talk about the AutoCut. AutoCut's a really nice little tool if you're working with copper tubing. Just open it up, put it around the pipe, snap it shut, and turn it in one direction. Now, it works great. Sometimes you get hundreds, maybe even thousands of cuts in one AutoCut, but what happens when the blade actually wears out? What do? There's a way to change the blade, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So in order to change the blade on this, first of all, we need two things. A very small Phillips head screwdriver, we usually refer to as a sheet metal screwdriver, and a flathead screwdriver with a fairly decent sized blade on it. Okay? So the first thing to do is take out the 4 screws that you see in the plastic housing of the AutoCut. The housing comes right off, as do some bearings. So you have a gray piece that goes around the spring and the blade. You have a bottom piece. You have a top piece, the holes for the screw. There's a metal piece in the middle. Open it up as wide as possible. There's your blade right there. Take your flathead screwdriver and just insert it between the spring and turn it sideways. When you do that, it loosens the blade. What I usually do is take one of the small screws and push the shaft through. Everything comes out. And here's your shaft. What we're going to do is we're going to put the same blade back in, but in normal circumstances you would take your new blade, put the shaft in part way, take the blade, put it in position, and just push it through. And then take out your screwdriver. The blade will be back in place perfectly. Okay? So now we have the blade back in. It's a good thing right now to close it up a little bit. That keeps the shaft from going on either side. It keeps the blade in position. Keeps everything together. Then we find the gray plastic housing sheet. Notice it has a couple slots at the bottom. That's for the end of the spring that holds the blade into place. There's a hole here and there's a hinge. You want to line that hole up right over that hinge. Okay, so after you get everything lined up, you have the hole and the hinge lined up, then I take this piece of the plastic housing, the one without the holes, the screw holes going all the way through. Now you notice that this lines up this way. There's a flat edge here, flat edge to the plastic housing. It goes on like this. So I take rollers, put the rollers on, and put this piece on just like that. Then I turn it over. Put the rollers on for the other side. And put this piece on. I call this the top. Now as I'm putting this on, I'll close this up the rest of the way and snap it into place. Notice that the hinge here is all tight. The plastic housing is all tight together. It's not, no gaps. When you have it like that, and it usually doesn't take any more than that, then you can start to put the screws in. And keep in mind as you're screwing these back in, these are fairly delicate screws. You don't want to over tighten them because you can strip them out and you'll never be able to change the blades again. On the other hand, it has to be in there fairly tight to keep everything together so it doesn't come loose. There you go. It's back to being like new again. Because with a new blade, it's like a new unit. Again, you might get hundreds, even thousands of cuts off of one blade, but knowing that you can change them gives you assurance when you buy the item. So that's all you have to do in order to change the blade. Keep in mind that we have 1/2 inch, we have 3/4 inch, and we have 1 inch, depending on what size copper tubing you're working on. Remember, it's good for L or M. Very useful tool. If you have any other questions, feel free to go to our website, www.drainbrain.com, or you can call our customer service department at 800-245-6200, and somebody will be able to help you further. Thanks a lot for using General products. We really appreciate it. Have a great day.
General Pipe Cleaners, the toughest tools down the line.